Finally, the machine is switched on. Everything is connected. Cubase is waiting for us. We have a sound. And now I will start recording with Cubase. So whatever you hear from now on will not be just the XR20 output. It will be also whatever the camera would record, because I will mix the two audio signals, so you will hear stuff like this or any sound that I produce additionally. Cool. Cubase is recording sound. Now because I need to synchronize. Okay, that's enough. Alright, we are ready to do a demo of the sounds of Akai XR20 and a little demo of the workflow. As you can see here, a little sticker that you can what you need to do in order to launch the demo song. Pattern, song and play. Good. So pattern, song and play. Okay, I will not play it all, because basically this is what most of the other guys from the other videos of YouTube that you will see are doing. And I wanted to show something different, so that was just a short demo of what you will experience with XR20. As you saw, the parts are very cool. When you play something, it shows you which part is currently playing. And now let's talk about how the recordings are organized. So basically, when you want to record your work, you don't need to connect the XR20 to anything like this. You can simply use XR20 itself, because you can store whatever patterns you create on XR20 itself. Even when you remove the batteries, it will stay there, so don't be afraid to lose your work. Just create and save. So right now, as I said, we have 3 layers of sounds here. So when we press a layer button, we have indication here which layer we used. So right now we are using the synth, the single shot and the drums. Okay, so basically there is no big difference between the drums and the single shot. Everything depends how the pattern creator and the drum kit creator actually set it across the pads, because you can create your own drum kits with this, and later I will show you this. You can set anything across the pads, but here is what the default drum kit have here. Cool. Single shot. Yeah. And finally the synth. Now you notice that something else is going on here. So basically, when you hold the synth button, it shows, this enables the transposition option, so you can transpose by holding the synth button and rotating the jog dial, or using, as I said, the increment or decrement buttons. So first, in the default position, as I said, we have this playing only one sample, and right now the pads are set in chromatic mode, which is like a piano keyboard. Cool. What is the transposition? This is simply going one octave up or down. Okay. So now demonstration of the variations. For example, now as I said, each pattern have two variations that you switch here, A and B, and you have also the drum fill variation. So what this means? Let's say that variation A of your pattern sounds like this. Oops. And we can have another variation which is like this. So you have one variation which is doing simply this, and it can go on forever, or you can have another variation doing like this. By the way, excuse me, but with the left hand I'm not very good, especially when filming, talking and playing at the same time. So having two variations of one pattern is cool, because your song could have verse 1, the structure of your song could be like verse 1, verse 2, some kind of chorus, verse 3, and XR20 allows you to recreate a similar structure inside the machine, so you can do very easy live performances by simply switching the A and B variations. And also, what is the fill button? So you have basically not one, not two, but 4 different variations of the same pattern, and they are associated with only one pattern. So this pattern Adidas could have 4 variations. One could be and the fill variation is basically just a variation of A or variation of B, which is just slightly altered, like exactly these two, this last snare hits are the drum fill, because usually if we do just this, we can go on forever, and this is very boring. Usually on each, let's say on the end of the pattern, we need something that will create a little variation of the pattern, and the listener will not be bored listening our music. So that was a drum fill. And that was another drum fill that I just created to illustrate what I'm talking about. So you have variation A of your pattern set like this, and the fill variation of pattern A would be like this. Okay, now if you have your B variation, I can go on forever, but it's boring. So when we apply the fill variation, it would be like this. Okay, that was just an example. It's not the actual pattern recorded here. So let's make a live demo. So right now we are playing variation A of the pattern Adidas. Okay, we can go on forever, but that's boring. So right now I will play first the variation A of the pattern, and then I will engage the few variations, so you will notice the difference. Okay, you heard that trrr sound, so that was the fill variation, which was enabled and playing. Okay, now the variation B. Yeah. Yeah. And we can go on forever, but it's boring unless we engage the fill variation. Now. Yeah. Okay, you notice the difference. De facto, we have variation A with a fill variation and variation B with a fill variation, which is a total of 4 variations for a single pattern. So now, how can we create a variable music performance using just the pattern variations? When we switch it, we can use all the 4 in a random sequence. So right now I will start with A, which will be like repeated twice, but I will engage the fill variation the second time. Then I will switch to B, and the second time I will engage the fill variation. It will switch automatically to A, back. So imagine that you are playing at this time in the same time, and you will notice how much more acceptable this sequence would be. Yeah. As you noticed, you are not required to engage the fill variation every time that you switch between A and B. You can directly change from A to B. Okay, so this is the music structure that you can create within the machine, with this machine. And as I said, you can create one pattern with up to 4 variations, and then you can create up to 100 patterns, each containing up to 4 variations. So this is pretty much, and you can organize any of the created patterns along with any of the preset patterns into song, and you can save up to 100 songs. Now, by the way, speaking of 100, on most sites, even on all sites, you will see that there are 99 patterns with 99 preset patterns with 99 songs, but the guys are missing the fact that we are using also the number 0, which is exactly 100, from 0 to 99. So 100 patterns with up to 4 variations, with 100 preset patterns, each with 4 variations, and you can have 100 songs with combination of any of the user or preset patterns, which is pretty cool for me. So whatever you create, you save on the XR20. If you want to export it from XR20, you have basically 2 ways. One is play on the XR20 and record on some external device, being a computer or an audio recorder. Or if you want everything exported digitally, which is like a backup of the whole information, so you can import it later. You can do this via the MIDI port, the MIDI out port. I will not discuss this because I haven't done it yet. Maybe I will do a separate video specifically about the export procedure.